Pantheon has a while to go until beta, it seems. I can't wait until it begins, but while you wait, what can you play in the meantime? These are in no particular order. Number 1, EverQuest Project 1999. If you really want to go back to the vanilla EverQuest days in the yonder year of 1999, then this private server is as close as it gets. Sure, Daybreak offers EverQuest progression servers. Most of the time, for most old school fans, they just don't check off all the boxes. Well, check this out. Project 1999 is as close as a human could possibly get to going back to 1999 and rolling a character on EverQuest. The community is huge and groups are everywhere, and in my experience everyone is very nice and helpful. It's still active in 2018, and so us old schoolers, we have almost nowhere else to go for that kind of gameplay. But you have to enjoy these old school graphics. If you can't, move along. The UI is also very outdated. This is a lot of fun for old schoolers, but it can be a little too much to learn for a newcomer maybe. But if you're up for the challenge and you want to practice at your old school skills, EverQuest is the game that Pantheon is the spiritual successor to, so it's kind of hard to pass it up. This is a great option. Number 2, EverQuest live servers on the progression servers. To play on the progression servers, you do need a subscription from Daybreak, but they do offer progression servers that aren't too far along in the expansions yet. There are plenty of people out and about at all levels. If you skipped out on 1999 or the progression servers because of the scare of there being no one to play with, rest assured. I tried both and found they were both active. I regrettably have to admit that the live server did seem quite a bit busier with more people and more chat going on for whatever reason. The live servers also support the updated graphics for character models, etc. Number 3, Final Fantasy XI Nozomi. Nozomi is a private server with the old rules of Final Fantasy XI, party-centric gameplay, and looking for group in the dunes. Final Fantasy XI was so much fun back then. It had insane graphics for a MMO that was pre-WoW. It had a wonderful community, and if you were a white mage, you were the most popular toon on the block. Nozomi has its quirks, like the TP attacks are devastating to your party, and I know they always were. If you remember the goblins throwing that bomb at your party, well, it's much worse on Nozomi than it ever was on the original launch servers. I'll be honest, I had an easier time finding a group though on Nozomi than I ever did on the live servers, even back at Final Fantasy XI's North American launch. Nozomi is very active, it's full of great people, and if you want to go back to these wonderful years of Final Fantasy, pull up your gaming chair and Google it to find out how to install. Number 4, Dark Age of Camelot Uthgar Pre-Classic Server. This is really close to the original Dark Age of Camelot world. I haven't made it to max level 50 on this server yet, but I'm really not sure about the round versus round out in the frontiers. But I can tell you that leveling up in Dark Age's tombs and dungeons were a blast on Uthgar. It's free and it's very easy to get installed and up and running. Dark Age of Camelot was very EverQuesty in its day, in my opinion, and I had a blast back in 2004-ish. The graphics for DAOC have really held up fairly well over the years, so I think this is a great option. The live servers are really built for RBR only, really, these days, as the PvE scene is dead. Because now on the live servers, the quests, they just kind of gate you to 50 very fast. So the world's dead empty these days. So if you want a fun old school experience, you have to go with Dark Age of Camelot. If you want to get into RBR though, go live servers. If none of these float your boat, then I'm now going to list some fun, newer games. I want to warn you though, these will not fulfill that itch for old school dungeoneering or grouping or even come close. But they're fun games in their own right. Alright, on our new school list, number 1, we have Elder Scrolls Online. Don't throw pitchforks at me just yet. Elder Scrolls Online does have public dungeons. Most new games don't even have that. But you will be soloing pretty much your way through the whole game, unless you put forth a considerable amount of effort to find others who want to group up. Elder Scrolls also boasts the closest to DAOC's RBR PvP. It's not quite as awesome as DAOC was, mainly because DAOC had the factions having their own classes, etc., but it's really not too bad. Elder Scrolls Online is also available on consoles and PC. Final Fantasy XIV. This is definitely along the lines of World of Warcraft style progression, but it's a lot of fun. It has an amazing story. In my opinion, it has the best graphics in the MMO genre. It has a good community and a ridiculous amount of content to wade through. I've seen all of the story in this game, and I'm up to date. And until Pantheon releases, this is definitely the game I spent most of my time in. If you love Final Fantasy, then you gotta get on here. It's a lot of fan service. Number 3, Guild Wars 2. I really do enjoy Guild Wars 2. I think it's mainly because of its open feel to its world, not a lot of instancing, and the fact that quests are handled a little differently than other MMOs on the market. There's still some story quests with instances, dungeons with instances, etc. But for the bulk, your leveling up experience will be spent exploring and moving almost organically through the world, completing hearts that are more like a AoE that has multiple goals to do that fill a bar, and then you get a burst of experience. So it's not like running back and forth to NPCs 5,000 times. Also, in no way is this game old school, though. It's very modern, it's very easy, loot popping up faster than you can equip it, but it is fun, and it does also offer RVR that's very akin to Dark Age of Camelot, which is pretty cool. Alright, next we have Black Desert Online. I always have trouble getting into these Korean MMOs for some reason, but Black Desert Online is pretty cool. I mean, it has a non-instance world. It doesn't try to do dungeons, or at least not instance dungeons. Everything is just out in the open and public. It has one mega server with channels to keep it from being overcrowded that you can switch back and forth from quickly. And it does feel more sandboxy than theme parky, but it is definitely actually both, and it's alright. Alright, I want to mention one more, Bless Online. It's not even out, but it releases next month, and a lot of people are excited for it. I have my doubts, but it's new and it could help you pass the time while you wait for Pantheon. I don't want to give my opinion on it because I haven't played it or even researched it that much. I only mention it because it's coming very soon, supposedly, and I want to throw it out there. And to wrap it up, guys, truth be told, we don't have a lot of options at this point. It's crazy because before World of Warcraft, the entire market was filled with options that were all about what us old school MMO players loved, which was group content. I remember people complaining that they just wanted to solo through an entire game back then. They didn't want to have to wait for groups, that they didn't have time to waste, they just wanted to play, stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes I think we all probably agreed with them. But now, here we are, completely soloable, massive multiplayer games. You know, it makes me kind of sad. We're basically just playing lobby games. I miss the massive multiplayer part. Now it's more like massive game that has options for multiplayer that happens to be online for the multiplayer and that is also a role-playing game. I was always under the assumption that the word massive meant the multiplayer was massive, and it used to mean that. But enough ranting though, because Pantheon will be here before you know it. So go hug your significant other, go get your fresh air outside, go take care of your life, because Pantheon is coming to suck all your time into the abyss. More Pantheon videos coming. Tomorrow I'll be releasing a video on the classes of Pantheon. Subscribe, hit that notification if you'd like to stay up to date with my new posts. Have a great day. Hope you got an MMO to keep you busy till Pantheon. Much respect.